are you?
Hello, Fay. How are you today?
I'm good. Every time I see you, it's like a ray of sunshine in my day. So I'm super happy. Welcome back to Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle.
Thank you for having me.
So there's something that's it's a hot topic. Everyone's talking about, pardon the pun, is sunburns, being out in the sun. And I know we've talked about sunblock while we were talking about from spring gardening. Well, now we're in the heat of it. So even speaking from experience, sun poisoning is very real, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. I want to talk to you about that today. So let's start with something basic. What do we need in terms of sunblock? I know there's a way where you break it down, like there's a formula, so you can kind of gauge the SPF and what it'll actually do for you.
In the past few weeks, we've been having a lot of rain and everyone's been trapped inside. So of course, when we have a couple of sunny days, everybody goes outside. And I've been seeing a lot of patients in the office with sunburns. And even on cloudy days, you can still get burned. Both of my boys work at the local beach, and one of them was out all day, and it was a cloudy day, and he came home and I'm like, you have a sunburn. So we have to remember that you can burn definitely on cloudy days. But let's start from the beginning. There's basically two types of sun rays that we're concerned about. We're used to hearing about the UVB burning rays. Those are the rays that cause sunburn. They're predominantly during our brighter days, our brighter seasons. And those are the rays that we know are responsible for causing skin cancers. Those are the rays that are referred to in the SPF of a product. So a lot of people will just say, oh, don't forget to put on your SPF. But if you're only concerning yourself with SPF, then you're missing another whole big piece of the picture. Because yes, we don't want you to burn, but we also don't want you to tan. Years ago, we used to say that the tanning rays, which are the UVA rays, are the safe ones. Now we know that those UVA rays penetrate even deeper down into the skin, and those are present all year long, even on cloudy days, even in the winter. And these rays go through glass. The UVB rays won't. You won't burn through glass, but the UVA tanning rays will. And now that we know that these rays go deeper down into the skin, we also know that they are responsible for the things that make us look old. For example, those are the rays that cause brown spots, wrinkles, and also contribute to skin cancers. So when we talk about sun protection, we want a sun protective agent that says sunblock. So don't just say your SPF, because if it's SPF, it's just preventing the UVB burning rays. You're not preventing the UVA tanning rays. So we want to protect against all of this. So when you buy a sunscreen product that says broad spectrum, right now the UVA portion does not have a grading system. So you're basically going by the brand name. And so if you stick with a good, reliable company, Neutrogena, Aveeno, one of those, La Roche-Posay, and if they say broad spectrum sunscreen, broad spectrum sunblock, then you know you're going to have reliable coverage. But in the future, and this was actually supposed to have happened a year or two ago, but the FDA keeps pushing it back, there will be a grading system for the UVA tanning ray portion of sunblock also. But the SPF, you're used to that. So what's the basics? On a day like today, where it's raining out, an SPF of 15 or 30 is fine. But if you're going to the beach, crank it up, 50, 70, 100. And people say, well, I hear there is no difference the higher you go. Well, there is a difference. It just may not be as much of an incremental difference between them. But basically, we look at SPF as the number on the SPF. We multiply that by 10 from the number of minutes it would take you to typically burn. So if you were to burn in 10 minutes, then you multiply that by 10, and you figure with that sunblock, you'll burn in 100 minutes. If you have an SPF of 100, multiplied by that times 10, it would take you 1,000 minutes to burn. The problem is, though, sunscreens only last about 2 to 4 hours, and they do wash off after swimming and wiping off with towels. So we don't want you to wait that long to reapply. But that's why a 15 or a 30 is fine for every day. But at the beach, you really should put it up much higher. And if you think about it, a lot of people, they'll buy a bottle of sunscreen, and that bottle may only have 3 or 4 ounces in it. But the average adult human body needs 1 ounce to cover itself. So that 3-ounce bottle is only one day at the beach. It shouldn't be lasting all summer and then have leftovers for next year.
There's so many people, even including myself, I'm like, oh, this lasted me all summer. That means I'm not doing something right.
Right, so you really want to use the right amount, because if you're not using the right amount, so 1 ounce is about 1 shot glass full. That's to cover the average entire body. If you're not using that amount, then you're not getting the SPF that's written on that bottle. So you may have a bottle of 100, but if you only used a squirt to cover the whole body, then you're not anywhere near that 100. And so we recommend applying sunscreen about a half an hour before you go outside, because it does take about 20 minutes to start working. And then we recommend that you reapply every 2 to 4 hours and immediately after swimming and after towel drying off.
Well, here's a question that was, that people have that wanted answers to. Can you use, like, whatever sunblock you're putting on, could you also use that for your face? Do you have to purchase a separate one that's just for the face?
Okay. All sunscreens are going to do the same thing. The difference might be in the texture. Is it more of a lotion, a silky feel, or is it a little greasier? Or even the sprays. Some sprays are a little greasier. Some have a dry touch to them. So basically, all sunscreen is going to work, and you don't even have to bother with, oh, this is a baby one and this is an adult one. They're all the same. It's basically how they market it. But which ones you want to put on your body and which ones you want to put on the face may have to do with the quality of the formulation itself and how much money you want to spend. So for people in general on the body, I tell them, whichever one over the counter. We may go over a few choices, because that's what you're really going to go through a lot of. So you may not want to spend a fortune on that. But your sunblock for every day that you have to put under makeup, some people do prefer a texture or a different formulation, one over the other, or a different brand. But the most important thing is that it says broad spectrum. And then some people also ask, what's the difference between sunscreen and sunblock? Sunscreen is when chemicals are used, and when the chemicals are on the surface of your skin, when the light interacts, it's those chemicals that mix with the sun to sort of eliminate those damaging rays. With the sunblock, it's a physical barrier. That's zinc, titanium. So when the sun comes and it finds that sun protection agent in the skin, it's going to block the sun rays. So a sunscreen has chemicals, sunblock has the titanium and the zinc. So if you're worried about chemicals, because a lot of people don't want to put any chemicals on their body that aren't necessary, then I say go for a sunblock. Look for something that's completely zinc or titanium.
And also always make sure, everyone who knows me knows I love my sunglasses. So always make sure you have your eyes protected. I tell my kids that. It's something that's like an easy thing, correct? You agree?
Absolutely. And you want to buy sunglasses that specifically say that they have the UV coating on them. A couple of years ago, I went to the ophthalmologist. He looked inside my eyes and he said, wow, you don't have any sun damage. And I'm thinking, because I always wear sunglasses. And another time I went to my internist and I got my blood work done, and she called me a few days later and she said, your vitamin D level is low. And I thought, well, it's because I'm a dermatologist. So a lot of people say, well, how much sun do I need to keep my vitamin D levels up? Because now we know that vitamin D is involved in so many different aspects of the body. It might help to prevent prevent from cancers. It may be a factor in hair growth. So, right. So how do you get some vitamin D? Well, some people do take it in a pill form, but in the natural form, we say be smart about it. If you're going to go outside, still protect your face, wear sunblock, wear a hat, because we don't want to be cutting skin cancers off of your face. But if you want, you can expose your arms and legs for maybe 10 to 20 minutes per day. The thing is, most people don't cover up their face and expose just their arms and legs for 10 or 20 minutes a day. They'll go out completely unprotected, and then you see a neighbor, or you figure I'll run some errands, and then a couple of hours have gone by and you've gotten a lot more sun than you realize. And the sun does accumulate over the years. I always tell my young patients, this is the best time of your life to protect your skin, because they say that most of the damage people get when they're older is from sun that they received before they were 20 or 25 years old. But of course, after that, we want to protect ourselves so we don't compound the problem for skin cancer. And of course, certainly we don't want brown spots and wrinkles.
Exactly. No, but it's so, which brings me to my next, there's two other things I definitely want to discuss with you today. I know you have a packed schedule, especially with everybody being out in the sun and stuff now, but something that we personally experience within our family is when you do get that sunburn and when you do get that sun poisoning, besides hydrating, yourself internally with liquids, etc. What do you do to make your skin recover? How do you get back on track? What do you need to do besides run to your office and see you? What else do you need to do?
There are a few things that you can help so that you can try to limit some of the pain and the redness and the burning and the peeling and the blistering. And I just want to quickly remind people also, don't forget to put some spray sunscreen in your part, because a lot of people wore the same part their entire lives, and you put sunscreen everywhere else, but you forget that one strip. So that's a common spot that we see skin cancers. And I also wanted to recommend that people put on sunblock before they put on their bathing suit. So get undressed, spray yourself so that you cover all the areas. Because if you wear your bathing suit and you have a strap on, you'll put sunscreen up to here and sunscreen down to there. But during the course of the day, if your strap shifts, then you're going to get a burn in there. So let's talk about what to do if you have an oops moment, and it's happened to the best of us. So if you realize that you do have a sunburn, then if it's medically safe for you, you can take some anti-inflammatory agents. For example, aspirin and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Motrin, Aleve, ibuprofen. You can take a few of those at the right dosage, and you can find the dosage on the bottle, or you can call your physician and ask for what is the proper amount for me to take at what intervals, and what is the maximum amount that I'm allowed per day. Because some people, when they take anti-inflammatory agents, it also thins the blood, and it can also cause stomach ulcers and esophageal ulcers and some internal bleeding. So you have to be very careful with how much you take. You can do cool compresses. Some people do compresses maybe with a little milk or a little dilute vinegar, but it just can be water. Cool compresses. If you're going to use ice packs, don't put ice directly on the skin because you'll burn your skin even more. If you're going to use an ice pack just for cooling purposes, then wrap it in a towel so that it's just being cooled, it's not being frozen. And then another thing that you can do is use over-the-counter cortisone, again, if that's safe for your skin. And you have to be very careful in areas such as the face, especially around the eyes, because too much cortisone use around the eyes can give glaucoma, cataracts. And of course, you can see a board-certified dermatologist because there are some sunburns that have passed way beyond what the over-the-counter medications can do. And in the office, we can prescribe to you prescription strength anti-inflammatories, as well as stronger cortisone creams that would be appropriate for your skin type and the location of your sunburn.
Wonderful. No, those are, and that's, I thought it was important because people were talking about it. It's happened to so many people I've spoken to. And, you know, I myself, not saying that it's me, it could be a member of my family, had to run and see you and was so grateful you were there. Another question is, so, you know, like I'm trying to educate my daughters and the young girls, like we all like to be tan. We all like to have a tan. And what was interesting was there are options I saw where you can get where it has a higher SPF, it has an instant bronzer, like that's okay and safe to use on the skin, correct? If it's SPF 30 and more, and if it has an instant bronzer, is that okay? If it has a self tanner in it as well, is that okay? Like these are questions that people are asking, and no one can answer them better than you because I certainly can't.
That's a really good question because people ask, can I use self tanners? Can I use tan in a can? Can I use tan wipes? Can I use bronzer? Absolutely. You can use all those products. Just the important thing to remember is it does not offer you any sun protection. So if your skin has color to it from a self tanner or a bronzer, it does not protect you in the sun. So you still have to do full on sunblock. And another thing that we were talking about the other day is what else could you do besides a hat and sunglasses and sunblock? So we started talking about sun protective clothing. Now some people think, oh, I can just throw on a t-shirt. A t-shirt does not have a very high SPF, although it's better than nothing. And if you are going to use a t-shirt, white would be your last choice for a color. You want to either wear a dark color like a navy blue or a black because those will reflect off the sun's rays, or you want a bright color like orange or red. There's also many different lines of clothing that has sun protective agents built into them. There was even a wash years ago, I'm not sure if it's still on the market, that you could add to your laundry detergent and it would add SPF to your clothing, and it lasted a certain number of washings, but I haven't seen that around in a while. But you can purchase clothing. There are several different online that you can buy, and I've got to tell you, I own a lot of them. And if I'm telling you, I may own 40 or 50 pieces of sun protective clothing, I am not exaggerating. They come in such fashionable styles and colors, and they have for men, they have for women, they have for kids. Nobody would ever know that you're wearing a sun protective outfit. I gave my cousin for her birthday in August, I sent her a dress. She loved the dress. I saw her wearing it in pictures and I'm like, did you notice? It's sun protective.
You know, I'm very interested. Before we go there, you have to tell me what's your favorite company to order that from, because I know for myself, I'm very interested in looking. What's the name of that brand? The company.
The one that I most commonly buy from is Coolibar, and that's Coolibar. But there are other brands also.
Well, I know I'm definitely going to check it out and order some stuff for myself and for my girls. I know I'm going to be grabbing my SPF. I know doctor's orders, it's okay to self-tan if I want my glow. So, and if I want an instant bronzer, that's okay also. Because
Absolutely.
as long as it can be put together with an SPF, you're ahead of the game. So thank you, Dr. Eve, for checking in with us. You're always a ray of sun.
With full protective sun protection on.
Exactly, exactly. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. You too, everybody. Have a great weekend and stay safe.
We'll see you soon.